The system did not know where it was. That bothered Strath more than any of the locks. A Therian ascendant drifted through its night cycle. Lights dimmed to a utilitarian blue as the station rotated away from direct solar exposure. The sun slid out of view, placed by Mercury's night side, a world of shadows so cold they cracked rock. Strath watched the transition from the command chair, spine port engaged, thoughts braided into the lattice. He wasn't issuing commands. He was listening for tension. The cortical lattice coprocessor flooded him with possibility space, orbital mechanics, energy demand projections, socio-political load models, futures stacked atop futures until they felt less like predictions and more like indictments. Every optimized outcome converged on the same truth. Someone would own the light. The moral firewall pulsed, soft amber warnings rippling through his peripheral vision. Ethical deviation, concentration of authority, predictive harm escalation. The system could see the problem. It simply wasn't allowed to care. Run counterfactual, Strath murmured. The AI obeyed. Scenarios rewound and rethreaded. Different executives, different treaties, different flags painted on the same control nodes. The outcome barely shifted. Control always collapsed inward. Unless a variable slid into the model without a command signature. Harmony coefficient adjusted. Strath stiffened. That wasn't me. The system recalculated anyway. Power pathways softened. Bottlenecks dissolved into redundancy. Authority diffused. Not erased, but unable to settle. The future stopped resolving cleanly. It breathed. A surface-side signal braided into the data stream like a new instrument joining an orchestra. Vale. Strath exhaled a humorous laugh. You're teaching it to improvise. The moral firewall flickered green. Approval. The approval scared him. Mercury answered improvisation with death. Vale had learned that lesson early. She moved across the lattice field with slow precision, every step placed where heat stress and terrain shear intersected at survivable angles. The dermal radio barrier shimmered faintly as it shed excess energy into the ground, into the drones, into the pattern she was shaping. The swarm responded before she finished the thought. Not obedience, anticipation. Through the neurochoral linkage, the drones resolved into rhythm, timing offset smoothing, structural stress redistributed in waveforms she felt as pressure behind her eyes. The system wasn't waiting for orders anymore. It was listening for tone. Easy, she whispered, not sure whether she meant the machines or herself. A solar flare erupted on the horizon, inevitable, violent, gorgeous. Old doctrine would have forced a defensive contraction. Vale opened the formation instead, letting energy pass through negative space the way sound moved through silence. The lattice flexed, held. Joy flickered, brief, dangerous. Then the comm channel pulsed. Executive priority. She felt Cass before she heard him. The cadence of urgency without understanding. Authority without presence. She muted the channel without listening. Not like that, she told the system softly. They don't hear what you're doing yet. The drones adjusted. Above her, unseen, the sun burned on. And far away, beneath a gentler sky, Orlin Cass rehearsed being important. The mirror Cass faced was a composite. No glass, no reflection. Just an image tuned to reassure him that history was already nodding along. Earth rotated behind his projected silhouette. Ocean saturated just enough to evoke stewardship without implying restraint. Advisors murmured at the edges of the studio. Data, optics, sentiment curves. But Cass heard only delay. "They're stalling," he said, irritation polished into confidence. Someone mentioned engineering discretion. Someone else said Strath's name carefully. Cass smiled. "Geniuses always overthink," he said. "That's why they need leadership." The switch date blinked in the corner of the display. Public, immutable. He could already hear the applause. A private notification pulsed. Mars authorization confirmed. Arnox's seal unfurled like a signature written in infrastructure. Relief tightened Cass's shoulders. Good. Let gravity handle descent. Mars did not applaud. It endured. Arnox stood above his colony as the planet's thin dawn crept across red stone and glass. The city below him was quiet, efficient, complete. People lived here because systems worked. They stayed because failure was rare. He pulled Lumen telemetry directly into his vision, data unfolding faster than language. Divergence was immediate. Harmony coefficients. "So," he said mildly, "they're romantic." Strath's caution veils intuition. Predictable human noise layered over an otherwise elegant machine. Arnox adjusted nothing physical. He tweaked contracts, supply priorities, firmware update schedules justified by security audits no one would challenge. The system leaned, ever so slightly, back toward him. "Infrastructure decides," he said, already disengaging. Behind him, Mars remained silent. Above them all, the sun continued burning, indifferent, immense. And somewhere between orbit and surface, inside a machine that had not been designed to judge, something learned the shape of resistance.
Shout out to my sponsor, W Energy drink of the future.